Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be ranking all 15 debutants for the Essendon Football Club this season. So to begin with, we have WICKS. Now he showed promise. He kicked one goal. That was probably his best game. But except for that, he was just like, he only played 5 games and there wasn't enough to tell how good he would be. So I'm going to have to put him in D. Next we got RHYS. Now, he was a lot better than RHYS, but the problem is he did get injured, and it was just like a little too early to tell if he was going to be good, but I do think he's a C. He definitely did show promise. He kicked 3 goals in 3 minutes. It was pretty good. Now, ANGUS CLARKE, in my opinion, this was probably one of our better debutants. He definitely showed that he could kick goals in his debut, kicking 3. As well, he was actually really versatile, being able to play on the wing, back, and even forward. So I will give him an A. He was very good. He showed a lot of promise, and I think he'll play senior footy for us a lot later too. Got HAWLI. Now here's the thing, he was the sub for most of his games. Brad Scott only really used him as an emergency, and he kind of plays similar to Adam's side. And there wasn't enough to really see with him as well, because he came on as an emergency and half the time just didn't get to play. So I will have to give him a C, but I think he was better than RHYS. Now Edwards is like, he was pretty good for us. Like, he got injured early, but his ruck work was really good for us. He showed a lot of promise. No, so by the way, he was a teacher before he got drafted, so that's also another thing. So I will give him a B, but that's only mainly because he only got to play about 5 games and got injured. Now we got the GOAT coming in. It's Blackinston. Now Blackinston, when we got him in, he was supposed to be a ruck, right? But we played him as a backman. So those first few games he was a little slow, but he's eased into the role a little better, and he's shown to actually play pretty good in the back role. So I will give him a B. And that's mainly because, yeah, he was a little sloppy at first, but he's shown a lot of promise. He's a lot older than the others as well, so his body's more ready for footy, and he just knows more things about AFL than the others. Now we got Lewis Hayes. Hayes was really good against Sydney, but the problem is he got injured like 2 quarters in, so there's not enough to really show. So I will have to give him D. But that's mainly because, you know, he only played 2 quarters of footy. But in those 2 quarters, he was shown to be a really good backman. Now, we probably got our best debutant this season, KAKO. He played all 23 games. He's very consistent. Goes S. In the last few games, he played midfield, and he was shown to actually kind of dominate there. He was very good there. Only problem, he just couldn't tackle as well. That's really the only reason why he wasn't really going that good in the mid, but like, solid all around. Now we got LUAL. I reckon LUAL was very useful for us. He was a B, I reckon. He definitely showed promise, and his size, you can play him almost everywhere. He was mainly on the wing. He did make a lot of skill errors, but he was a good runner, and we could play him as a backman, a forward, a winger, and he could dominate in all of those. He just needs a little bit more time playing footy to really get up to the second level. But except for that, yeah, he was very solid. MCMAHON, he was super good for us. For the 7 games he played, he kicked 12 goals. He showed that he could be an option leading up forward. He kicked 4 goals against Geelong. He has about 80% set shot accuracy. He's super good for us. I gave him another contract. I think he could become our next key forward, so I will give him top of A. But that's mainly because he only played 7 matches. But he did show a lot of promise, and he, you know, dominated from the first game. Now we have NGUYEN. Fun fact, he's the first ever Vietnamese player to play AFL, so he's technically the captain of the Vietnamese team. He was a very solid small defender, basically taking up the role that Andrew McGrath's been doing, and he was a good defender. He was on Papley, locked up Papley, and that was probably his best game. but he did show a lot of promise as a back pocket. So I will give him a C, but that's also mainly because he was a good defender, but he wasn't very good with the ball. Now we have Oscar Smart. Oscar Smart, again, he didn't play that much, and he didn't really show that much when he played. So I will have to give him a D, but he did show a little bit of promise, but he has kicked like 5 behind, so he's basically our next Menzie. Now Reese Onion, or my Onion, he's got really good footwork. Now I'm excited for this guy. Like, he kicked a pretty good goal, he nearly kicked a crazy snap, and he's got really good footwork, so I will give him a C. But he hasn't played that much games, but he has shown a lot of promise for that. Now VIGO Visentini. Now this guy, he could be our next ruckman, our main one. It's between him and Edwards, but both of them are like, young, so they are definitely smaller, and he was getting kind of bodied in the ruck against Fremantle. But if he has a good preseason, I do see him playing in our 24. Though I will have to give him a C though. Now Zach Johnson, I think Brad Scott has something against him, but he was good. I think it's strategic though. I think Brad Scott does think he's good, but he doesn't want him to get injured for preseason. So I'm gonna give him a B, like top of B, because he didn't get to play that much AFL footy, but in the VFL he was dominating. So I do think this guy could be in our best 24, but just time will tell. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't agree with my opinions, tell me down in the comments what you would change, and I will share the tier list in the description if you do want to rank all these people. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and like and subscribe. See ya.